Texas fishing tournaments fuel a $2 billion industry and the hopes of thousands until whispers of lead weights and failed polygraphs shattered that trust. As scandals explode from Lake Erie to Lake Fork, careers, entire communities, and millions in prize money now hang in the balance. Just how deep does this cheating crisis go? The real cost of fraud is about to surface. At sunrise on a spring weekend, the boat ramps at Lake Fork and Sam Rayburn fill with trucks hauling glittering bass boats. This is the heart of Texas tournament fishing, a machine that pumps more than $2 billion into the state economy every year. Local businesses depend on these events. Motel owners at Quitman and Jasper plan their calendars around tournament weekends. Bait shops, marinas, and lakeside diners see lines out the door, all fueled by anglers chasing six-figure prizes. The stakes are real. Major tournaments on these lakes offer purses ranging from $100,000 up to $500,000, with first-place checks that can buy a new truck and a boat. For some, a single win means covering a year's expenses. Sponsorship deals from tackle brands and boat manufacturers ride on tournament performance, sometimes worth more than the prize money itself. Guides, tackle shop owners, and local workers all feel the ripple effect. When a big event comes to town, it can mean a month's worth of sales in a single weekend. This economic engine runs year-round. From the pre-dawn blast-off to the final weigh-in, the flow of money never stops. At Lake Fork alone, annual tournament activity brings in millions, supporting jobs and keeping small towns alive. For communities built around the water, tournament fishing isn't just a pastime. It is survival. Cheating scandals have always forced sports to reckon with their own survival. In 1919, 8 players from the Chicago White Sox conspired with gamblers to throw the World Series. Acquitted in court, but banned for life by baseball's first commissioner, their punishment was not about revenge. It was about saving the game's reputation. The commissioner's office itself was born out of the fear that fans and sponsors would walk away if they believed the outcome was fixed. Decades later, Major League Baseball faced a different threat. The steroid era brought record-shattering home run totals, but also congressional hearings and a cloud over every statistic. Sponsors and broadcasters, once eager to cash in, found themselves linked to what many called a tainted era. The Hall of Fame debates, the asterisks in the record books, and the endless arguments over strip titles all stemmed from one thing: the loss of trust. Cycling's crisis came in the form of Lance Armstrong, 7-time Tour de France winner and global icon. When investigators exposed a years-long doping operation, Armstrong was stripped of every title since 1998 and banned for life. Sponsors like Nike and Trek cut ties overnight. The United States government demanded millions back in fraud settlements. Cycling organizations overhauled their testing regimes, but the damage to the sport's credibility was done. In every case, the pattern repeats. Once cheating becomes undeniable, sponsors and fans pull back, and governing bodies scramble to restore order. For tournament fishing in Texas, the warning is clear. Without swift, decisive action, the sport risks the same spiral of lost trust and economic fallout. Tournament cheating rarely looks dramatic on the surface. The most common tactic is brutally simple: ADD weight. Anglers have been caught stuffing solid lead sinkers, sometimes egg-shaped, sometimes molded to look like fish organs, down the throats of bass and walleye. In one Lake Erie case, 10 lead weights and pieces of fish fillet were pulled from just 5 fish. A single 2-ounce sinker can boost a fish's weight by more than 10%. With multiple weights, a cheater might add 2 to 4 pounds to their total, enough to leapfrog dozens of competitors and claim a 5-figure prize. But lead is not the only trick. Some cheaters push pieces of fish fillet into the cavity to pad around the weights, masking the hard edges and making the fish feel natural to the touch. Others use dissolvable weights, compressed salt or sugar tablets, or small bags of shot wrapped in water-soluble film. These can add just enough mass to tip the scales, then vanish within an hour in a live well, leaving barely a trace. Dissolvable weights complicate every inspection. Tournament officials rely on quick inspections, palpating the belly, checking for scars, and probing the vent. But not every cheat is obvious. A fish might look and feel normal, especially with fillets hiding the evidence. Metal detectors and X-rays are sometimes discussed, but most events still depend on sharp eyes and the willingness to cut a prize fish open in front of a crowd. Even then, dissolvable weights can slip through, making detection a constant challenge for directors determined to keep the sport honest. At Lake Fork in 2024, tournament directors faced a dilemma that has become all too common. A fish brought to the scales looked healthy, but its weight did not match its size. Officials did not hesitate. The fish was cut open in front of the crowd, revealing evidence that did not belong. It was enough for a swift disqualification and a permanent ban for the angler involved. Word spread quickly across the circuit. For many competitors, years of effort and reputation can vanish in a single moment of suspicion. Just weeks later at Sam Rayburn, a different kind of standoff played out. The stakes were high, with more than $25,000 riding on the outcome. After a winning catch, tournament rules required the top anglers to submit to a polygraph exam. One competitor refused. There was no argument, no appeal. The prize money was forfeited on the spot, and the angler's name was quietly removed from future entry lists. The rest of the field watched the outcome with a mix of relief and unease, knowing that even a hint of doubt can erase months of hard work. These incidents did not make national headlines, but they sent a clear message through the Texas fishing community. Tournament directors are now expected to take decisive action, no matter how uncomfortable or costly. For honest anglers, it is a necessary step. For those tempted to bend the rules, the consequences are immediate and absolute. Tournament directors in Texas are now reaching for every tool they can find to keep fraud out of the winner's circle. Handheld metal detectors have become a fixture at some weigh-in stations, sweeping along the bellies of big money bass. A 2-ounce lid weight hidden deep inside a fish can trigger a sharp beep, enough to send a director straight to the knife. At larger events, there is talk of bringing in portable X-ray machines, the same kind veterinarians use to spot broken bones. These machines can reveal metal objects tucked inside a fish without making a single cut, but their high cost and need for trained operators keep them out of most local tournaments. Polygraph testing is now a standard hurdle for anyone claiming a major prize. Winners are often tested within 24 to 48 hours, facing questions about when and where their fish were caught, and whether any outside help or illegal methods were used. Professional examiners run these tests, monitoring blood pressure, breathing, and skin response. Most pass, but a failed test, or a refusal to take one, means instant disqualification and a lifetime ban in many circuits. The pressure to catch cheaters comes with a price. Every new layer of technology drives up entry fees and strains the budgets of smaller events. For directors, the arms race between cheaters and enforcement is just getting started. Entry fees for Texas tournaments have climbed year after year, driven by the cost of polygraphs, extra staff, and new security demands. For many weekend anglers, the price to compete now feels out of reach. Directors face a different pressure: the threat of felony charges if cheating is not caught and prosecuted. Under Texas law, theft by deception becomes a felony once the prize value crosses $30,000, a line that even a single big win can cross. Prosecutors with Texas Parks and Wildlife have started treating tournament cheating as serious financial crime, not just a rule violation. Organizers must now keep detailed records, documenting every inspection, disqualification, and polygraph result. The push for a statewide, banned angler database has grown urgent, aiming to stop cheaters from simply moving to a different lake or circuit. Coalition leaders from the professional ranks have joined forces with local directors, calling for unified standards and real consequences. With rising costs and the risk of felony prosecution, the pressure to act has never been higher. The sport stands at a breaking point. Either reform or risk losing everything. Today, every weigh-in is a test of trust in a $2 billion industry. As technology escalates and reputations hang in the balance, the real battle is for integrity itself. Until honesty outweighs temptation, every catch raises the same question: whose word can you trust? Share your thoughts below.